There he is. Is that him? Yeah, there he is. And believe me, I also have. I'm under no illusion about becoming a full-time streamer. Like, there's about 1 million people that want to do it, and about 0.01% that actually ever end up in that position. It's one of those things where you go, yeah, if that opportunity ever came up, you would grab it with both hands. But reality is, focus on your job, focus on your family, make ends meet. And, I now do this as a hobby. Ah, shit, I forgot we're in lunacy. That's kind of all I can do, because I'm just going to keep getting ambushed. I find the ambushes when gathering resources too often. Like, it's just like you can't hardly get. You're supposed to gather more resources, but you don't, because you get ambushed. Like, and the time that you waste getting ambushed, I could have farmed like 10 ton more resources. Like, there's this silver here. And I know I'm going to get ambushed straight away. Okay, maybe I didn't, but you often do. Right, let's head back. You're on a quest to defeat Rift Entity in the Mirage Monolith in Iron River. Is his the last zone of Phase 1? You tried going to a level 35 area to get T4 and gear and it won't let you. No, you can't. You can't, right? So Iron River is the last region. So if you go to your Manibus here, right, Phase 1, and it'll say locked, Chalk Peak, Red Sands, Blackheart region. So Phase 1, you get the first 3 areas. Phase 2, you get all areas unlocked. So in Phase 2, you get the final areas unlocked to get your T4. You can't get that. You struggled with Spider Boss. It one-shots you with Web Shot and have T3 gear. So you need to look up some vids. I will go and kill the Spider Boss for you right now. Let me show you. Right. Well, I'm not. Oh, I am heavy. Let me just get rid of some of this ore, and I will go kill it right now for you. Right, let's ditch all the stuff up here. Hides. Seeds. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Right. Okay, so you are going to kill the spider boss. Some things to think about in terms of your gear, right? First things first, on your weapon, under accessory, make sure you've got steel ammo, right? Because that's your highest damage ammo, right? It doesn't matter if you're arrows, if it's bullets, whatever. Go to your weapons, make sure you've got steel ammo. Make sure you've got a weapon that does well at range. So you want at least a weapon that's got a decent scope or sight on it that you can shoot at range, because the eggs are quite far away. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. Every time I kill it, I get a chance for a deviant, right? So it's fine. You don't need to calibrate. You can see here, nothing I've got. Calibration 0, right? All my stuff is calibration 0. All my armor and weapons and everything, right? The other thing to think about. So first of all, make sure you've got your steel ammo and you've got at least one of your guns has got a scope on it of some description to do a long range shot. The next thing is, on your bar down here, the one thing that you need, let's just put that in there because I'll need that. The one thing that you need is so you've got your activators here. Now this is just for normal mobs, right? When fighting a boss, if you're struggling, you want quick activators, right? Because they have a much shorter cooldown time, which means you can use an activator and then use it again. Okay? So make sure you've got those. You don't need grenades, Molotov cocktails, or anything like that, okay? Also, don't forget that when you're on your gear, if you press C, you can see your details. So, for example, this is what I'm doing it with. I've got 102 attack, 335 psi intensity, 2.6k HP, right? And then here, you've got your different bonuses to stuff, right? Now, the other thing to think about is making sure that you've got a mod on every single bit of gear. So every single one of these, that little diamond in the bottom left, make sure every single one of those has a mod in it, right? And again, if you're struggling with the damage you're taking, HP mods in your armor, right? There are lots of low-level mods that you get that can boost your health pool. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So now in terms of the fight, let's make sure, have I got a sanity gummy? Because I'm gonna need, I've got sanity gummies. I've got some food. That's just a mining bonus. So this food doesn't give me anything other than a mining bonus. There's no extra damage or anything crazy. Okay, right. So let's teleport. Mirage Monolith, where are you? You're here. Now, in terms of deviants, you what the hell what is going on here? Why is there an ambush? Hang on. What is going on here? I just literally teleported into a fucking ambush. Do you get ambushed when teleporting? No, surely not. That's gonna suck if that's the case. What the hell? Ah! Do you mind, fuckers? All of... I just wanted to teleport and we got ambushed by a triple wave and an elite. Oh, dear. Anyway. Right, we've teleported to the thingy. We've got quick activators on button 5. Right, we'll just glide down straight into the monolith. And of course, when you're fighting the boss, the whole thing about being in Lunar Oracle doesn't matter. So we just go into here. Spider boss, make sure it's on normal and enter. Right, let's get ourselves set now. So make sure that you are fully sane as possible and got full health. Make sure that you have maximum hydration, because don't forget, you don't lose any hydration for 20 minutes when you're fully hydrated, and the same with food. Right, so you get those 2 little buffs. This is no health buff food or anything. Right, so we've got that. Now, you won't... I was going to talk about deviants. Right, so you won't have the Lone Wolf deviant that I've got, but you will have the Festering Gel. The Festering Gel is going to help heal you, right? So you're going to have more survivability. I'm going to have a little bit more damage, right? That's basically the way it's going to be, because mine is going to decoy the boss and do a bit of damage. Right, so straight away, deviant out. And I'm running sideways. You keep running sideways, reload. Run sideways, reload. Watch out for the web stuff. Bearing in mind that web stuff stays up. Right, and this is the hardest part, is the beginning, right? Because you've got to try and get her to the point where she's into her second phase, right? Second phase, she jumps up there. We're going to spawn 2 eggs on there and 2 eggs over here. That's what you need your long range for. Pull the deviant back in, because he can't do anything, right? We're going to have the 2 eggs over here and 1. That's why we want a scope. Now keep moving, because she will shoot you when you're sat here, right? So you can't just stand and shoot. This is all about moving. As soon as you've killed the 2 eggs, get on her straight away and she'll fall down. While she's down, just pump DPS, max DPS, everything you've got while she's on the floor. If you do enough damage, she'll go straight into the immune phase and jump straight back up. Sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. Right, so she should now jump straight back up. You're going to have the same 2 eggs. Shoot 1 and move. Shoot 1 and move. You just got to keep the movement up. As soon as it's down, see, she's shooting you, even though... And then just pump, DPS, everything you've got. So if you just like literally every bit of damage, just focus on the damage. You want to shoot the little purple balls on the back. So those purple areas here is where you get crits. And that's Spider Boss down. So the way to avoid the web is, what you have to do is you have to be running sideways while trying to focus the boss. And as soon as you see the tail go underneath and shoot the web, you run sideways and roll. Yeah, so as soon as you see the web, you got to keep running sideways. Stay at maximum range, right? Because that means it takes longer for the web to land. So you just keep running sideways, and as soon as you see her shoot the stuff, you roll and run. Yeah? And the other thing you can do as well, if she's charging at you, you can use the pillar in the middle to it won't block line of sight when she shoots the web, but it will stop her charging at you, right? So you can use that to block a little bit as well. But the thing is you got to just keep getting sideways max range. But yeah, you definitely want your best ammo if you're struggling. Make sure you use those quick activators to means you can heal much faster. Those are the main things, to be honest. I mean, you're not going to have as good a weapon. I get it. And as much damage. Just make sure you're thinking about the mods you're using, because the mods do help a lot. You know, when you look at it, if you're on tier 3, you know, this mod here is giving me my bonus to my power surge. So that's pushing my damage up. I'm gaining 9% crit and 8% damage against normal enemies only, right? So that 8% doesn't count for the boss. Yeah, but every single one of the mods, like here, that's elemental damage, right? So boosting my damage, boosting my reload speed. Yeah. So you've got to... Don't underestimate the value of the mods. I mean, what weapon are you using? Or weapons? But keep max range, keep going sideways. Pistol and crossbow. What, the basic ones? Controller doesn't matter. That's what you're comfortable with. Melee in this game is not good. Never build for melee. I don't think melee in this game is any good at all. So you're using... Hang on. How much... Do you have any Starcrom? Do you have any Starcrom at all? Just if you have Starcrom and you've got the Wish Machine, don't gamba. Never use the gamba. Instead of going F, press G. Go to the shop. Buy the gun that you want or the weapon you want. Because gamba for it, not going to happen, right? And the same for a gear set. So what I recommend is get the 2 weapons you want by buying them. Save up the Starcrom. Get a gear set that you want and buy it. So like the Lone Wolf set, for example, or the Savior set are both decent sets. Lone Wolf is higher damage. Savior set is more tanky, more survivable. Treacherous Tides is specific to the Lunar Oracle. But don't gamba. So in terms of blueprints, you are using... What are you using? This one? The green pistol? Using the green pistol and the green crossbow. Okay, definitely get a Wish Machine up, because that's where you're going to get all of these from. You need 8k Starcrom. You got 24k Starcrom? Holy shit. Right. You could buy 2 good weapons. Any weapon you want. They're all available. And you could buy some armor. So you could buy the crossbow I'm using. Now, the crossbow I'm using is incredibly strong. But if you don't like crossbows, I wouldn't waste your time on it. Pick the weapons that you think... All the weapons can be good within their own way. Some are stronger than others. If you love the crossbow, this critical pulse crossbow is disgusting. Right? The best weapon to pair with this crossbow at the moment, for me, is this one. The MPS-7 Outer Space. Why? they're both power surge. So when you're doing your Memetics Cradle and your overrides, make sure you have these on. Make sure you have your overrides on. You only need to use one of the weapon ones because crossbows and SMGs are on the same node, right? So one node does both your weapons. When it comes to your damage type, power surge, elemental damage, one node does both weapons, which allows you to use the other nodes, right? If you haven't done silos yet, do the silos to unlock more nodes because the silos are easier than the end bosses. So I'm using crossbow and SMG. I'm using medicine usage, 30% less cooldown. And when your HP is below 40%, you gain better healing. There's only 2 silos up to this point. If you've done 2, then you've done them both, right? Because you'll have 2 bosses and 2 silos, so you should have 4. You should have 4 open nodes. All right, and if you're going for the critical pulse crossbow, you want elemental sense because shock damage is elemental damage, and you want transient impact, right, which is power surge damage. Yeah, and then in your mods, you want to make sure you're using mods that either boost elemental damage, they boost your HP, or they boost things like crit and stuff. What you don't really care about is status damage, right? You want to focus. If you're going to take this crossbow, it's all about the shock damage, the elemental damage. And the treacherous tides, it's nice, but it's really tailored for Lunar Oracle. Some of the best armor blueprints you can pick up that will work with nearly every gear set, the Bastille boots, right? I nearly always use the Bastille boots because if your health is above 70%, you get a flat 10% weapon damage increase. So the boots are a good buy because you'll use them with pretty much any gear set. If you're going down the critical pulse crossbow route, the gas mask hood is a good buy because you're going to get, after triggering power surge, your crit is going to go up by 35% for 3 seconds, right? I think that's better than the EMP, personally, but both of those head items work for boosting your shock damage, right? And then after that, pick the 4 set you want. The increased damage with the Lone Wolf, the Lunar Oracle stuff with Treacherous Tides, or the more survivable stuff with the Savior set. If you're ever thinking of doing PvP, the Savior set will be the best because it works in PvE and PvP. Your damage will be slightly lower, but Savior set is like really good for PvP. I don't do it, but you can. I think that's everything I can think of at the moment that should help you. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, you definitely want your steel ammo. If you've got 24k Starcrom, you would definitely want to be spending it. There is absolutely zero reason to save your Starcrom. There's nothing to save Starcrom for. Spend it. But don't use the gambling function until you've got everything you want by buying it. The gambling function is a way of getting blueprint fragments to upgrade your blueprints when you don't really care anymore. But you saw it, so it only shows not that one. It only shows, so you can see, like the pistols, I got lucky enough, I managed to get fragments for it, but that one I bought Didn't buy any shotguns because I don't really like shotguns, but I bought all of those, right? So all of the stuff you can see where it says owned, I bought those weapons, right? Saved up the Starcrom and bought them. Right, and you can see certainly the Saviour set. I bought nearly all the Saviour set. The Lone Wolf set, the same. Right, so definitely save up and buy. Don't gamble. Don't gamble. But yeah, that was a quick run through of the Spider Boss. And if you're still in phase 1 and you find yourself with not too much to do, farm steel. And make sure you go into the next phase with an absolute ton of steel. Because you will need steel all the way through into the end game. Like, there's not a situation where having all that extra steel is a problem. Okay. Misc. Let's get rid of those. And the other thing you've got is if you've picked up any of these things, right, where you've disintegrated weapons, you can tailor the weapon to how you want. So, for example, if you've got the crossbow, right? If I look at the crossbow as a basic blueprint, there, you can see calibration, right? Which is what we got. So that's the weapon features. This is the calibration. So the calibration tells you there, you've got crit rate, weak spot damage, crit damage, right? And then you've got range and weak spot. What you can do is you can use these calibrations to change how your crossbow is. So you could go with the portable style. That's going to boost your movement speed when firing, right? It's going to improve your weapon switching speed. That's pretty good for a crossbow. It's also going to improve your movement speed by 7.5%. But note, you don't get those calibration benefits until you've done weapon calibration. So you would need weapon calibration 4 to get the portable style. You would need calibration 7 to get the increased weak spot damage, and then 10 for the final one. But when you get into the end game and you're going to start calibrating your weapons, you can change how your weapons function. So you've got this one, which I don't like for a crossbow, which is precision style. You get bonus attack, bonus range, but the reload speed is down. I don't like that on a crossbow personally. But portable style is quite nice. Right, that could be quite nice, and particularly for you, if you're struggling to evade the web attack, that extra speed is nice. The extra speed will definitely help fighting the dog. Right? If I'm say I think the hardest boss is probably the Hound when you're not overgeared for it. Right? The advantage is you can actually overgear yourself because you can go and get tier 5 gear to do the Hound. But the Hound's pretty tough if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Calibrations. Okay. There's a lot there. I know there's a lot there. There's a lot to the game, right? There's a lot to the game, but that should give you the basics. And any of these that you don't want or like I don't keep any of the blue ones now because I've got a lot of calibrations, you can melt them down for Stardust Source. Right, we've got 30 batteries. Let's go put them out in my Stardust water filter. deposit. Are you not working? Insufficient power. Really? I don't like the sound of that. Who's got power left? 15, 14, 7. Already connected to that. How about that one? Now we're working. Good. Good. Right, well, ladies and gents, with that, just need to learn the attack animation. Yeah, the attack animation for the web, if I remember, the big bulbous tail bit goes underneath the body and almost points at you. The little spiky bit at the end points at you and fires out. I'm pretty sure that's the animation for the web. And of course, the further you are away, the more time you'll have to dodge it. But she will predict where you are, so you've got to keep moving. Don't ever stop. It's like, even when I was fighting that, it's shoot, run, just keep running around in a circle as much as you can, staying at maximum range. Particularly if you're using a crossbow. Yeah. And I would recommend using the festering gel as your deviant, right? Transforms into a shelter to block enemy attacks. Thing is, the butterfly will do damage and mark weak spots, but it's not gonna. If you get lunar crates and you happen to pick up a lone wolf, this is the one. Right? The reason is because it distracts, it taunts the enemies off you. Right? So while this is out, the enemy will focus this deviant. The only way to get this deviant outside of the Lunar Oracle crates is to kill the dog boss, but you won't see the dog boss until the next phase. Right, that's the next boss after the spider is dog boss. Right, and by killing that, you'll get the Lone Wolf Whisper. Okay. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been streaming for 9.5 hours today. It's been another long stream. There's nothing else we can do in phase 1. So, yes, we're at level 35. Yes, I could go and run silo after silo after silo, or kill boss after boss after boss to grind levels. You just don't need to do it. I'll be level 50 by the time I get to the end zone and I fight the Forsaken Giant, right? So I don't ever feel the need to grind out the levels by doing the same thing over and over. It just doesn't interest me. I'm not farming for the deviant that comes from the spider boss, right? So if I was trying to farm the dog boss, that's different, or I'm trying to farm the festering gel, that's different. But just to gain levels, I don't see the need to gain the levels like that. We've got a ton of steel. We've done everything we can in terms of our gear is fully done. There's nothing else that we can actually do. Right? Every riddle spot, every morphic crate, every stronghold is all done. I'm not doing a big base build until the final area, because moving base is a pain when you're moving a big base, because often it just doesn't fit, doesn't work. So we'll do that then. There's nothing else left to do. So I think this is a good place to stop. We did 10.5 hours yesterday. We did 9.5 hours today. So some good long streams and cracked it out. No streams during the week, as I said. Next stream will be Friday. It won't be phase 2 until Saturday. So Friday is probably going to be Baldur's Gate 3. And it will be an evening stream. It won't be a all-day thing. And then we should hit phase 2 on Saturday. So expect long streams on Saturday and Sunday as we push through and do as much as we can of phase 2, which should take us all the way to the end area, and we should be able to 100% the final 3 zones in terms of strongholds and morphic crates, riddle spots, all that type of stuff. With that, Thank you, everybody, for being on board. Zengrath, thank you for coming back. If you've got any issues or anything else you need help with, please let me know. Just send me a message on YouTube or one of my video comments or whatever. I will answer as soon as I can. Thank you for everybody that's been watching on Twitch as well as YouTube. You've been watching The Ghost Owl. Have a great night, and I will see you all on Friday.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.